Okay, first up is public access. Is there anyone that would like to address the board or have a question about the, yes?
Good microphone tonight?
No.
My name is Chris Harry, 212 East Hill Road. I'm here tonight to speak about something that goes beyond any single disagreement or committee issue. It concerns every citizen's right to participate in town government without fear of retaliation. Over the past 3 months, I've been served with 2 separate no trespass notices. One from a former candidate in the last select board election, one from a historical commission member. I had no prior conflict with either person, and at no point was I ever told there was a concern or a reason these notices were being filed. In both cases, the notices were delivered directly to me by Brimfield police officers after statements were taken by the chief of police. This conflicts with Mass Civil Procedure Rule 4, which states that these such notices are normally served to a certified mail or process server. The first notice was delivered out of nowhere, and no official report was given to the police department. The second notice appeared after I publicly disagreed with comments made at a historical commission meeting, after I attended their meeting on November 6th, where I had been encouraged to go, but I wanted to hear details and ask questions. That meeting was live streamed, fully recorded, and open to the public. Later, during a conversation with the chief of police, I was told that members of the historical commission felt intimidated by my presence and later filed a complaint with the department on 10 November. That was 4 days after the meeting. The night of the meeting, instead of calling dispatch or asking me to leave, if they were truly intimidated, they would have done that. They contacted select board member Tom Stewart, who then contacted the chief directly on his cell phone. As a result, an officer was quietly sent to the area without a logged call or report. I was also told that my military service, my appearance, and simply being a big guy can make people feel intimidated. If you hear me now, I'm not very intimidating. I want to be very clear. In 42 years, with more than 20 years of honorable military service, I've never been charged with a crime, and I've never behaved in a threatening way at any town function. The last meeting, the select board chair publicly stated he intended to take action against people who commented on a Facebook post about the windmill property. He claimed appointed committee members were being attacked. It simply was not true. The citizens were commenting and responding to inaccurate or incomplete information being shared with the public about proposed donation of the windmill property. They were not attacking anyone. They were asking questions and correcting misinformation. The suggestion that residents should face consequences for participating in public discussion only adds to the atmosphere of intimidation that many are now feeling. I'm deeply concerned that feelings, unverified, unreported, and unaddressed at this time, are being used to justify official actions against a resident who asks questions, attends meetings, and live streams public sessions. This creates a chilling effect for anyone who wants to participate in local government. I'm not here to argue or attack anyone. I'm here to state the facts, to ensure they are part of the public record, and stand for transparency and fairness. If any resident, myself included, ever behaves inappropriately, there's a proper process to address it. By using informal channels, unlogged calls, and subjective claims to take action against someone is not appropriate for any town department or board. I will continue to participate respectfully, follow all laws, and advocate for open government. I'm asking this town to ensure that no resident is targeted, silenced, intimidated for speaking up, regardless of what their opinions are popular or convenient. That's it.
Please don't respond. If not, no one can respond to that because it's not on the agenda. You've made your statement. If anybody feels that they want to react to that statement, notify the select board's office and I will schedule a time for anybody who thinks that they were involved in this and have something to say about it, okay? We can't do it tonight because it's not on our agenda. Is there anyone else who would like to say something? All right.
Unrelated. Sue DeBruin, Historical Commission. I just wanted to report that I didn't know if you were aware there's damage in the gazebo.
That what?
Damage, vandalism.
To the gazebo?
In the gazebo. So.
Could you do me a favor? Could you come a little bit
Yes,
closer?
of course.
Thank you.
So shortly after the gazebo was installed, probably season 1, there was a carving in one of the benches. We shrugged our shoulders. When we went in to decorate for the holidays, we noticed there was Sharpie on the floor, Sharpie on the benches, and then eggs that had been thrown up in the ceiling, which is destructive. The glass has been broken of the light there. So we just wanted to report that to you. And I know Bob was going to go over with a magic eraser and try to get it off, but you know, it is upsetting.
Yeah, no, I
That
understand.
happened for all of us. So I just wanted to make you aware that
Okay.
maybe the Halloween activities, you know, everyone loves the toilet papering, but the eggs can be destructive, and certainly we don't want that in the gazebo.
Okay, thank you very much for letting us know. We'll have the, we'll ask the chief to just take a look at that, please.
I have one thing that nobody else does.
Anyone else?
Just one
Chief.
quick thing. William Baudry, Chief of Police. I'd like to thank the board for the continued support, and I'd also like to thank everyone who donated for Thanksgiving. We had quite a bit of donations come in and pour in, so we wanted to make sure that the food pantry was taken care of. So thank you for everyone that contributed to that.
Thanks for saying so, appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, my colleague, Mr. Stewart, has something he'd like to say under the public
Right.
access.
So in regards to the food pantry, in early November, I made an announcement that Ann Davidson, the director of the food pantry, needed 200 turkeys for 200 families in town. And after we made that announcement at this meeting, she texted me and told me that she was getting a bunch of phone calls and the donations were coming in and people were asking how much does 200 turkeys cost. So I just want to put a thank you out there to all those that took an interest and donated. You made a lot of people, or a lot of residents' Thanksgiving a happy one. And I've invited Ann Davidson to come to the Board of Selectmen meeting on December 15th to give us more information about that in detail and also let us know what their enduring needs are at the food pantry so more of us can get involved to help. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. First up, we have the minutes of November 3rd and November 17th. Is everybody good with that? Has everybody had a chance to look them over? Yep, okay. If there are no corrections, comments, or anything, I will be happy to take a motion on that.
You want to do them separately or both together?
I can do them both together, the minutes.
I'll make the motion to accept the minutes from November 3rd, 2025, and also the November 17th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Dwyer, aye.
Vandal, aye?
Stewart, aye.
Kelly, aye. Thank you. Next on our agenda, we got a complaint from someone who says that their tire on their car was damaged as a result of driving on Brimfield Road during the construction and the paving of that road. And I'm glad to see, I didn't want to put you on the spot, but if you are here, do you want to speak to it at all? You don't have to if you don't want to.
All the information was in the email from what she claims. I'm not sure if the board has the whole email.
Yeah, they got, yeah.
As I stated in the email, I was working on the northern end of the road. One of the guys said, hey, there's a disabled vehicle, I believe, down in the area of Devil's Lane. I had called detail officer. He called the patrol officer, went, took care of it. Said, oh, she had a flat. To be honest with you, I didn't think much of it. Went by on a tow truck a little while later. And then a few days later, she had sent the original email, which I believe was in the packet. She said that I would, send me the invoices, and I would forward it along to the insurance company. I never got anything, kind of didn't think anything about it, and then 2 or 3 weeks ago, she was inquiring about it, so I never received any of your invoices. She sent them a few days later, and I forwarded them off to Chris to say, see if the insurance company will cover it, whatever. That's
Okay.
kind of where we're
Yeah, it seems very straightforward to me,
Yeah,
It does, it's,
we had a mile of road or so, toned off. There were arrows to stay in the, so it would be the northbound lane on Brimfield Road. I'm assuming she was going southbound as she was from Sturbridge. And we were working in that southbound lane that day. She must have crossed back over when she wasn't supposed to, and then had to get back out. Ran over, I'm assuming some debris or something.
Okay. This is not the first time we've had a request to be reimbursed for
The
a
last
tire.
one was a pothole.
Yeah.
Again, she was in a construction zone. I'm not sure what the insurance company was saying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. For anybody who doesn't know, that was the highway surveyor talking about the road job that was being done. I will just say from my own point of view, this was obviously a construction site. I went by there myself. It was very, there was no mistaking what was going on there, okay? Like I said, this isn't the first time we've had this request, but I'm personally not prepared to be reimbursing somebody because she got a flat tire driving in a construction site. Just my opinion.
Has insurance companies in the past paid like that pothole one? Did they pay or
No.
did they not pay?
No.
No. So it doesn't look like she's.
I don't think we reached out to the insurance company.
No, we didn't. No, we made the
There's
decision.
a mass general law
Yeah.
that says, if we're made aware of a pothole and we don't fix it in a certain amount of time, then yes, the town can be held liable. That pothole is fixed within a day.
Yeah.
This was a construction zone.
Yeah. And last time around, as I recall, the board voted that we were not gonna pay to get that repaired. So, and I would ask the board to make the same decision here. That would be a very difficult precedent to set. We'd be buying a lot of tires, Any other thoughts or comments? No?
How do we know for sure that the tire was caused by the construction? You don't.
Okay.
So I agree with you. I think that it's foolish to
Yeah.
even address
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I'm sorry she lost the tire on that. I know how infuriating that can be. But by the same token, it wasn't like she had no idea what was going on and got surprised by it. She drove into a construction area. Okay. So, we should, unless anybody else got something they want to talk about for that, we should probably just take a vote and say, yes or no, we're going to.
I would make a motion that,
Okay.
I'd make a motion that the board take no action.
Okay?
I'll second that.
All right. All in favor?
McGuire, aye?
Vandal, aye.
Stewart abstain.
Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. Thank you. Okay, Council on Aging Director Applications. Okay, Chris, this is where we put you on the hot seat here.
We have 5 applications total. There was a 6th application, but that was asked to be withdrawn.
Okay. Has everybody had a chance to review these?
I have.
Not enough.
Not enough?
No.
All right.
There's been a lot coming in.
Yeah, this is a hard year.
So I would kind of like to move forward rather quickly with this. I think, just throwing the idea out there that maybe 2 of us sit down and look at these resumes and maybe dwindle it down to 2 or 3, and then have those people come in front of the board.
I think that's a great idea, and we've done that in the past, like with our own assistant, not in Chris's case, but earlier.
Yep.
So if you want to do that, you can, choose the ones you think have the best
Right.
credentials for this. And if those 2 members of this board want to bring them in and, talk to them, interview them a little bit, and then bring recommendations back to the board, we can then bring them in, the board can talk to those folks, and we can make a decision. We all good with that?
Yeah, I think it's a
Everybody
good.
okay with that? All right, good. Do you have a second candidate in mind?
I didn't know I was the first, but okay. I don't. I mean,
You know,
I'm more than willing to, yes, I'm
this-
more than willing to sit down and go over some of these.
This
Anybody?
is assume the sale, right?
That's all right.
Paul, you want to do it?
I mean, you got a bunch of stuff too, right? So I mean, I don't mind
This is kind of your bailiwick.
so I'll take.
If
care
you want to do
of
it, that's fine, yeah.
I just
Okay,
didn't
good.
want to take
And if
it
for
away.
some reason you can't, no problem, just
No,
let us
no,
know
I'll-
and somebody else will go.
We'll
All
make it work. So it would be within the next 2 weeks. So we
I would
can-
like to get somebody on the 15th. There's a couple people here on the 15th to,
Right, for the
in front
next
of the board,
meeting.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we need to move very quickly.
Right, so if
Yeah,
we
I
have
agree.
it picked out and down at roughly 3, then for the 15th?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And as I don't know any of these folks, it's not directed at any individual, but you may get in there and find out that you only have 1 or 2 that are even considered at this point. So we'll wait to see what you think on that. All right, thank you for taking that on, appreciate it.
Excuse me, may I approach the board?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oops,
Excuse me,
sorry,
no, no,
Sorry.
no, ma'am, not right now. That was for the open forum, if you had something to say about one of the items, that's why we do that.
It was just in regard to the application.
Say again?
It was in regard to the applications.
Okay,
I can speak to you after the meeting if that's.
okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Why don't you, if you want to talk to Paul and Crystal on that, that would be great, okay? I don't want to be rude to you, but, you know, we have
No,
to.
that's fine.
Okay.
I understand.
All right, thank you. Okay, next up, the windmill property Phase 1 study. As I'm sure by now, everybody on this board knows that we got a written opinion from the attorney that we should go forward and do the Phase 1 look at that piece of property. We put it back on the board here. I know a couple of weeks ago, we voted to just go ahead and record the deed, but the attorney was very specific that we need to do this, and different members of the board had expressed that we bring it back so that the board can make a decision if they want to go with the attorney's suggestion or not. So, has everybody had a chance to read the attorney's opinion on this?
Yeah, I mean, he's been quite adamant on phone calls and in letter that it's against illegal advice for us to take the deed before this is completed. So I think we have to be very cautious and not go against legal advice and just get the job done, and then we can get that
Yeah.
deed.
Yeah, I think everybody on this board, at least from previous conversations, has expressed their support for doing this, but we want to make sure that we're doing it in accordance with what our legal advice is on this. Personally, I was happy to go ahead and record the deed because I don't think that's where you take the property, I think, or accept it. I don't want to say take it. That's where you accept it, in my opinion. But when the town voted to accept the windmill, again, just my opinion, not an attorney, that's probably where the ownership transferred. But thoughts from other members?
No, I agree. Follow what the attorneys recommend and go that route.
Okay. All right. Just to make it official, I'll call it to a vote because I think it's good to have it on record that we've done that, in case there's a question.
Do you need a motion? So you need a motion?
Yes,
I need
please.
a motion to continue with Phase 1 of study for the windmill.
I'll second that.
Okay. Is there any other discussion at this time? No? Okay. All right, all in favor?
McGuire, aye.
Vandalay.
Stewart, aye.
Frazier, aye.
Okay. So we will send a note to the historical committee and let them know where we are with this and why. And if anybody wants to come in and discuss it, we can do that too. Okay? Good. Okay, next up, we have the status of the building committee. Well, this is going to be an easy one. We don't have a building committee right now because we've got 2 members whose time has expired back in June on this committee, and that's Mike Egan and Deb Fagerstrom. I've heard from 2 other members that are on there, Bob Blumgren, he'll kill me, I got that wrong, and Chet Jimbora, and they have both expressed their desire to get off, which means that it's right now a committee of 1, which means it's not a committee. So, it is my personal opinion that we should make a decision on what direction we're going to go at this point before we start thinking about another committee, because we don't even have a mission to give a new group of people into which way they should go with this. Thoughts, comments?
We do have approved funds for the current town hall that need to get planned and executed.
Yep. Yes, that's true.
But do we need a building committee to do that? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know if we do either, to be honest with you.
I just made the comment that we do have to make the repairs to the town hall. It's very clear on what we have to do, and we do not require a building committee to do that.
Who would do it?
Well, you're hiring contractors off, I believe we're looking at the state contract for that, which means that they're already approved to go in and do those projects, you know? And if we have somebody that, you know, we wanna, and we won't be doing this till the spring because nothing's happening this winter, but.
But they're still out to bid, correct? They're not.
Yeah, we're working on it, because Chris is the procurement officer, so he is definitely working on that. And rather than going out to bid on it, we're looking, there's two possibilities. You can either go out to bid, or you can hire somebody off the state contract. And for those who don't know what that means, there is a contract that providers of services and equipment and so forth can get approved by the state. And if the state approves them as a certified vendor to go to state properties like universities, municipalities, hospitals, anything of that sort, you don't have to go out and do the bids like you would normally have to under the uniform procurement. You can go to the contract, hire somebody that's approved and have them come in. So that's the first thing we're looking at, if we have legitimate contractors that can come in and do this. And we have got several quotes on these things, so we are moving forward with it. So for everybody who thinks we're not true. We have been working on it for quite some time. Chris has been working diligently to get those that information for us. Okay? Okay?
So that would be up to us at the end, the five of us,
Yep.
versus the building committee.
Because all we're doing essentially is authorizing that particular contract.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, no, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
We also have the capital plan that just came back, right?
yes.
So I'd like to get a building committee involved in taking a look at that as well.
Well, I'm not entirely sure, and I'd like to hear what your thought is, because I'm not sure how the building committee would work with capital planning.
Understand the big picture.
Huh?
Just to understand the bigger picture for all the capital the buildings owned by the town and where they fit according to that plan. Takes some time to get to know that.
Takes care of that?
There's a capital planning committee.
Gentlemen, I'm having a really tough time
Yeah.
hearing.
Sorry.
Could you shout?
No, I just made the comment that the capital planning committee would be taking care of that. It doesn't have to go through the building committee. Because a lot of it's maintenance, upkeep, budgets planned.
So we may find when we organize this capital improvement plan committee that we need to readdress the building committee.
Or which committee we would see, you know, does the capitalization building committee look at it and give us advice, or, you know?
Right, that would be the
Building,
first step, for that report. But all I'm saying is, you know, it's a step. It's a stepping stone.
Yep.
Here's some screen.
Well, anybody who has ideas, suggestions, if you want to look into that, and we can certainly put it back on for reconsideration. Again, we won't be doing anything.
So what's the timeline for putting out, you know, an invite for those that would like to be part of a new building committee?
No, I think if that's something that you feel you'd like to do, you know, sooner the better.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I haven't heard anything to change my mind yet.
Okay.
Well, I think it makes sense to put it forward so anyone who's interested can apply, okay? And that we'll have a list of candidates we can review and go through. I think that's the smartest way to proceed.
Yeah,
At least we'll be moving forward when we need them.
Right.
I would agree. That way we don't get to that point and then we start that process and then it takes 2-3 more months longer. At least if we have some candidates that are willing, we know those, and then we can pick from those, and then it starts off within 2 weeks of a second meeting instead of months.
By
or-
the time we're ready
or-
to start executing, we'll have a committee.
Right.
And we
Right.
can take some time right now to develop what that is.
Right, it gives us a little time
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
That's my feeling.
That's what I feel.
And honestly,
too.
we can put it out there, but from what I'm seeing, that we're not getting a lot of volunteers.
Yeah.
We're really not. So, I mean, yes.
And the other thing to be careful of is, when you're reviewing potential candidates, whether it's capitalization or building committee, whatever, that we're not just taking people because we need
We need
bodies.
them,
We
right.
need to get the right people
I
into
agree.
these positions.
Haven't we seen some pretty decent resumes come through for the capital planning committee?
I haven't really had a chance to go through that yet.
Because some came through and I was looking at them, and there's some really qualified people in this town. But we haven't even put anything out yet on the building committee. But I have a feeling that when we do, we probably will get a good amount of people that are qualified and that are residents of Brimfield that we've never even heard of before.
So what I'm hearing is this, we don't currently have a building committee. And we can put it out there that we're looking for volunteers to sit on this board, but we don't know what the timeline is at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because we don't have a goal. We don't have.
We don't have a mission
Right,
for
we don't have
them.
a mission, right.
Right. Typically, you would say, we're going to have a building committee, for example, and say, the goal of this committee would be to do X, Y, and Z,
Right.
and give them clear direction on it, as opposed to saying, well, go out there and good luck. Let us know what
Right.
happens.
Yeah, but by the time we assemble them, we'll have a clearer vision, I think.
God, I hope you're right.
We need some vision.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, for the past building committee, you guys worked really, really hard for a long time and through a lot in this town. And, that doesn't go unnoticed. I probably said it before, but thank you once again.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do at this point then, right? Okay, thank you, Tom. All right, next up we have the upcoming Brimfield holiday events.
So I asked for this to be put on in the spirit of the holidays. We have some of our departments do some great events. I haven't seen anything out on social media yet, so just putting it out there. This Sunday is the Christmas tree lighting. That's with our rec department, fire department, police, Boy Scouts. They'll all be there. I believe that starts at 5 o'clock. On Saturday the 13th, we have Cocoa with the Popo, which is a toy drive. I don't have the times on that, Chief, do you?
I do not. I think it's, we have Beach and then,
Yes, we have Race Across America,
Yeah.
and then we have Cocoa with the Popo.
yeah, I don't exactly have the times right now.
All right, just putting it out there, you guys kind of just watch social media. Maybe we'll put it up on the website as soon as we get those flyers. And then rumor has it that Santa's going to be taking his tour around Brimfield on the 14th,
The 14th.
and that's with our fire department.
Okay, excellent, thank you. I think this town does a great job with
We really
these
do.
holiday events. Thanks to everybody who participates in that,
Really
because,
do.
Yeah, the kids really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think the parents do too.
it's really, it epitomizes living in a small town,
It
I
does,
think,
it does.
Okay, thank you for that. Request for the Christmas tree lighting tree, common December. All right, they want to use the common, so I think that's kind of a no-brainer, right? We shouldn't get an argument over that, should we?
Nope.
All right, so somebody wants to make a motion to give them permission to use the common?
Make a motion for the Christmas tree lighting to be held in the town common December 7th at 2025 at 5 p.m.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
McGuire, aye.
Vandal, aye.
Stewart, aye.
Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. Thank you. All right, next on the agenda, we have the 2026 annual motor vehicle Class 2 license for, there are two of them here, Benoit Welding and Repair, and I just know that that's where? Is that the one on
It's on Route 20,
Route
isn't it?
20? Yeah, up on Sturbridge Road?
244 East Old Sturbridge Road.
East Old Sturbridge Road, okay. And the other one is Automotive Specialist Repair and Service, DBA Classic Heaven. Is that one stop?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so if somebody wants to make motions on those two,
I'll make a motion to accept the 2026 annual motor vehicle Class 2 license for Benoit Welding and Repair. You want to do them separately?
Yeah, let's do them separately, just because.
We got a second.
We have a second? All right. Is there any questions or comments? All right. If not, all in favor?
McGuire, aye.
Vandal, aye.
Stewart, aye.
Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to accept the 2026 annual motor vehicle Class 2 license for Automotive Specialties Repair and Services, DBA Classic Heaven.
Second.
All in favor?
McGuire, aye.
Vandal, aye.
Stewart, aye.
Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. Next on the agenda, we have the 2026 annual motor vehicle Class 3 license, Automotive Specialties Repair and Services, DBA Classic Heaven.
I'll make the motion to accept the 2026 annual motor vehicle Class 3 license for Automotive Specialties Repair and Service, DBA Classic Heaven.
Second.
All in favor?
McGuire, aye.
Vandal, aye.
Stewart, aye.
Fraser, aye.
Kelly, aye. Thank you. Okay, last on the hit list, old business, discussion of police detail rate. So at the last meeting, we had a discussion about correcting the detail rates and how the officers in this town are being paid or compensated for their details. And one of the things that we talked about was, I guess the biggest one was that they were being paid at a rate of like $40 an hour detail rate for the job during the flea market. And that is significantly below what surrounding towns pay for details. And the concern that we had at the time, for anybody who wasn't here for that, was that, we've said numerous times that in the event of some kind of a problem, or we needed to call help in from other towns or the state police or the sheriffs or whoever it happens to be, that it was easy to say, yeah, we're going to call them in if we need help. The problem is that they will not come here and work for what we pay for the detail rate. It should be noted that if the detail rates are increased, whether it's the former or the, right now they call the in-town and the out-of-town rates, it does not come from the citizens of the town. It doesn't come out of the town budget, if you will. It comes out of the, if it's the flea market, it comes out of the revolving fund. So all that does is make a dent in what's being turned back to the town. But in the last 4 years, the amount of money that was being turned in, when in 2021, I want to say that what was returned to the town was someplace on the order of somewhere between $19,000 and $22,000 went into the coffers. The other day I was in the office and the accountant came in, Marie Arsenal, and I asked her that question and she said, oh yeah, well this year we're turning back $119,000. So we have done a significant job in managing that account and making sure that as much money as was possible went back to the town, okay? Having said that, even if we raise the detail rates for the show up to what they should be, we're still over double what we had been receiving just a handful of years ago. So to anybody who wants to say, now it's costing people money, it's not. It's not costing the taxpayers money, only insofar as less goes into the town coffers, but still more than it was a handful of years ago. So that's my speech on that. Any other thoughts or comments?
Yeah, I have some thoughts. So I think, we have to be very aware that we need to be fair to our officers and to our taxpayers. Chief and I have spoke about this. Whether our officers are on the street with our highway department or whether they're, at the flea market, they're still working, they're still doing their jobs. So in fairness to, the taxpayers and the officers ultimately, I believe that town rate, that we call that town rate, I would suggest that we call it the Brimfield Town Department rate. And that should be at the 55, which is what Chief had suggested, coming out of your budget this year. What I would like to see is come this budget season that we make it 65 across the board. Because again, when it's a town department, it's coming out of Chief's budget, correct? And you don't have that in your budget to go to the 65 this year. not this year. But if we work on that, you know, with FinCom and all that, we can make it 65. I'm okay with making that 55 for right now, as long as the remaining details, whether it's flea market, whether it's Robinson Tree, whatever, whoever it is that $65 rate. But I'd like to see it 65 throughout in the coming year.
And thank you, that's an excellent explanation of that. One of the things that needs to be remembered as we do this is right now, if our officers go out and work, for example, paving Brookfield Road, or when they were doing the tree cutting on Warren Road, basically that money's coming out of his budget and not the other departments. So we can't just arbitrarily say, well, we're going to make it this because he's got to be able to get to the end of the fiscal year. So I've had a long conversation, numerous conversations with the chief about, you know, where he feels that the money will last from here till the end of the fiscal year, which is June 30th. Otherwise, it would have to go, and then it would impact other budgets, like the highway, for example. You know, he may have to go to them and say, I can't pick up the tab for this because I don't have the money in my account. So we're trying to balance what they do for the other departments in town. We want to make sure that he's got enough money to go to the end of the fiscal year, because we certainly can't claim that this was an unforeseen expense. So we need to go to the finance committee and get money. It doesn't work that way. This is not an unforeseen expense. This is something that we want to correct. This is where we think we can do it from now until the end of June. And at the town meeting in June, that's where this has to really be addressed, because that's where they will fund all the different budgets.
That's where the town department rate needs
Right.
to be addressed. We can address the other
Correct.
issues.
Correct.
Anybody else?
You do not have to say a word, but if you want to, you're free to. No? Okay, good. Anybody else?
I think
Everybody's
it's about time that we came up to the rates.
I agree,
You
100%.
mentioned to me before, you have a hard time getting details.
Yep.
Because we just do not pay the proper rate.
Yeah, and we don't want to find ourselves in a position where all of a sudden we have an emergency and he's reaching out to all of the surrounding towns and they're saying, yeah, gee, we can't help you because you're not going to pay us what we want. And we certainly wouldn't be fair to the officers from Brimfield if we paid officers coming in to help at a higher rate than we paid our own people. So that is not going to happen. So that's kind of getting us from here until the end of June. After that, it will be the decision of the voters at the annual town meeting. Okay, if there are no other comments or questions, I'd be more than happy to hear that magic phrase.
Well, so are we going to do a motion there, or I mean, are we just leaving that up?
I think we should.
Yeah, all right, let's do it,
Right.
yeah, okay. All right.
So I make a motion to make are you okay with me calling it the town department?
Let me just write down what you It's not called like that.
Because, yeah, and you realize why I'm doing that, right? The town department, so that's, we're very clear, the Brimfield Town Department detail rate at $55.
Okay.
All other details at the $65 rate.
Right. And by others, we're talking about